This is part 2 of fitness for self-defense, and we're going to be covering strength exercises. We will see if we can get through all these in one video. I'll try to keep them going at a fairly good clip. But again, I'm just demonstrating. I'm not doing a lot of reps, so the reps are up to you. And once again, if you may be familiar with a lot of these exercises, some of them you won't. But these are all kind of specifically targeted for strengths that one might need when you are trying to defend yourself. So we're going to start out with a wall squat. And a wall squat is simply getting up against the wall and going down so that your legs are parallel to the floor and holding that. My suggestion would be that you work your way up to 1 minute, 2 minutes, but you may only be able to do it for 15 seconds if you haven't done this very much. Hold your arms out like that and squat and just hold it and count. Now, another way of doing that, if you have one of these Swiss balls, is you can put the ball up against the wall. This makes it just a little, I don't know, a little nicer maybe, and go down and hold it, and you feel a little bit like you're floating, but it does basically the same thing. It's just it's a little less unpleasant at first. So wall squats, important for building those quads, and those quads are important for those kicks. Okay. Next thing, I'm having trouble with my Swiss ball. There we go. Push-ups. Okay, everybody knows what push-ups are, but there's a zillion different kinds of them. I used to show some crazy ones in the class, and I later came to find out that they weren't so good for you. Things like when you do push-ups on your wrists, you end up with wrist problems. So try to eliminate those and just do some that make a lot of sense. So everybody knows how to do a push-up with their hands flat, and I'm going to be using something to help me because of shoulder surgery and ongoing shoulder problems. I actually couldn't do push-ups for quite a few years, and I found this. This is called a slingshot. A guy named Mark Bell sells it. And there's variations of this, but it helps. It takes the pressure off my shoulders. So I'm going to do it with this. If you have problems with push-ups, if you can get a hold of something like this, it might help, might not, I don't know. So I'm just going to go through a few different kinds of push-ups. So we've got our flat-handed push-ups. So we're here, and the thing with a push-up is you don't want to, do that kind of thing. You want to keep your back straight, your head up, and you want to go all the way down and all the way back up. Okay? It's not the number that counts. People that bang off 50 just doing this, that doesn't do you a whole lot of good. You want to go all the way down and then come up full extension. If you only do 5 like that, that's great. But if you can only do 5, then next week work on doing 6, 7, okay? Kind of increase the load. So that's one way. Another way is, and you can do this on a soft or hard surface. In martial arts, we used to do them on hard surfaces to condition our knuckles. But you keep your wrist straight, and in addition to possibly conditioning those knuckles, it works on wrist strength, which is really important if you have to strike somebody. You don't want to break your wrist. So we put them down like that. Once again, we are looking forward, keeping our back straight, going down, coming back up, going down, coming back up, down, up. Okay, another one, hand strength is a big thing in self-defense. Being able to grip somebody so that you can move them being able to grab somebody and rip their grip off of you. It's really an important factor. So one thing that you can do to kind of work on that is fingertip push-ups. So you go on your fingertips, and we do the same thing. We go down, and we go up. We go down, and we go up. You'll find these very painful and difficult if you've never done them. But do as many as you can. Don't worry about how many. Worry about doing them properly. Another push-up that works a lot of different muscles is, I move this ball so I don't hit my head, the dive bomber push-ups. So we start here and we go 1, 2, 3. Again, as many as you can. Now, if you are a woman, you don't have the upper body strength to do push-ups, or if you're a guy and that's just not your thing and you just have trouble with push-ups, then you can do push-ups against a wall. Or you can grab onto a rail at about that height and do them with your body slightly angled. But wall push-ups, when I was in physical therapy for my shoulders, this is something I learned there, was wall push-ups. So I'm going to put my knuckles against the wall just because it's easier on my wrists. You can put your hands against the wall if you prefer. When I'm here, I'm at a little angle, and I just go in. Okay, obviously you're not, you're using a lot of the same muscles, but you're not expending them nearly as much as when your full body weight's going down. But for a long time, before I could go back to doing regular push-ups, I just did wall push-ups. So I do 200 wall push-ups, which would probably be the equivalent of 25 really good push-ups going down, 25 to 50 really good push-ups going down. So wall push-ups, nothing wrong with them. If you need to start out with wall push-ups, do it. Okay, crane pose. So this is a yoga pose, and this is something that works on wrist and forearm strength, works on balance, works on core strength, and most people will do it with their hands flat. Again, because of my wrists, I don't do that. I do it like this, and I use a couple of dumbbells, and so they're like handles for me. So what we do with the crane pose is we put our elbows inside our knees. Get back so you can see that. Elbows inside the knees, and you rock forward. So it looks like this. And then point the toes and just hold it. So you're working on balance, you're working on strength, strengthening those forearms and those wrists, and it's works your core and kind of gives you a little stretch in the groin too. So you got a lot of things going on at once. So if you can do that 15 seconds, the other thing I would suggest when you first do it, put a pillow out in front of you in case you go forward. You don't smash your face on the floor. Start with 10 seconds, 5 seconds if you can't balance. Work your way up. And, if you can do 2 minutes of this, you're doing great. Okay, so that's crane. Okay, bridge. So the bridge is a core workout. But it's also really important for ground fighting. When we get into ground fighting, you'll see we actually use the bridge as a defense to get out of a situation. So what I'm doing with the bridge is I'm bringing my heels as close as I can to my booty. My hands are down and head's back, and I lift and not only am I lifting, I'm not just sagging here, I'm lifting up like this. And I'm pushing with my hips as high as I can. Okay? And you hold it 15 seconds, do 3 sets. Then there's variations. So one of the oh, ouch. Iron dumbbells aren't good headrests. Okay, so one of the variations is take your leg and stick it out straight and hold it. And then the other leg. And the temptation is to let yourself slide down like that. Force those hips up. And then take that leg up, straight to the sky and hold it. Up. And hold it. So, core workout, back workout, and good practice for ground fighting. Alright. Aero plank. Okay, so you probably know what a plank is. You get on your elbows. One variation of a plank looks like a push-up position, and you're just holding your body straight here, and it's a core workout. So by holding your body straight, you're engaging all of your core, your rear end, your abdominal muscles, but it's a little bit harder if you go down on your elbows. And once again, we're going to hold our body straight, look ahead. So this is the basic aero plank. Called an aero plank because your hands kind of form an arrow in the front. Now, one thing that you can do is what are called toe tap planks. So from here, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So that's one thing. Another thing that you can do is you can lift a leg and hold it. And lift a leg and hold it. And every time you do a variation of that plank, it gets a little bit harder. So work on them planks. Okay, chair leg raises. Let me get a chair. Okay, what I'm going to do is grab the back of the chair, and I'm just going to bring my legs up. Okay, looks easy, good on your core, kind of hard on your core. We're going to do one more, and then we're going to split this video into 2 also. So let me just get this one last one, and then we will do the rest in just a minute. Side plank. So we're going to go on our side, and we're going to lift up, keep our body straight, and take our arm up there. Keeping that straight the whole time. And then flip and do the other side. Okay, so that's the beginning of the strength exercises. We'll come back for a second video on that and work on those.